It's the rundown. April 10th, 2024, the 112th anniversary of the Titanic setting sail. We have the Nate Dogg here.
I didn't even see you with the hoodie on.
Huge Titanic guy.
No,
Biggest
Clem,
Titanic guy now.
April 10th, big day. In order, my half birthday, my sister-in-law's birthday, and Titanic set sail in 1912.
And only 6 days until Anya Taylor-Joy's birthday.
Huge. You think she's hot, Tommy?
She's fine.
Yeah, she's hot.
Fine, like okay, or fine, like fine?
Like, she's fine. She doesn't really do it. She's not my type, but I see the appeal.
Okay.
I don't think Tommy goes around calling women fine. Like,
I know.
Oh, she a fine ass shorty.
Oh, man. Well, it's a glorious day. Spring is springing outside as we speak. It's a big golf week, obviously, at Barstool and in the sports world. And with all that, that means you got to get your high noon tequila seltzers. Bring the Fiesta anywhere you go with the all-new high noon tequila seltzer Fiesta pack. I love when they just unleash new packs and they throw some little pairings together. It's kind of like some, fun little pairings like we have in Chicago right now with the mini golf tournament. This variety 8-pack features 2 new tequila flavors, blood orange and prickly pear, alongside 2 tequila favorites, grapefruit and lime. All are made with real tequila and real juice. Perfect for any fiesta. Oh, fiesta is such a good word. Find the High Noon Tequila Seltzer Fiesta Pack nearest you at highnoonspirits.com. High Noon, sun's up. The sun is up, and so is...
Hold on. Tommy, are you doing like the TikTok hair thing? Like,
no, I'm trying to fix how my hair looks. I don't like how it looks right now.
You know what I'm talking
I couldn't
about?
take a hot shower this morning. I had all cold water in the shower, so let's just move past it.
I don't want to see it on the smoke show next week where it's like, oh, I tricked 2 guys with a TikTok thing. Don't you fucking dare, Smokes.
I had no hot water.
He's doing the cool guy TikTok hair.
I mean, I'm growing my hair out a little longer up front. I think it looks bad. I think I look like a child when I have shorter hair.
How old are you?
27.
Okay.
28 on April 29th, 13 days after Anya Taylor-Joy.
Moving on, we're gonna start off the week with the Masters, going down to Georgia. The favorite, Scottie Scheffler, says he will drop out of the tournament if his wife goes into labor, 9 months pregnant. Heavy favorite this weekend. He has a pregnant wife expecting sometime this month. Obviously not an exact science. That's how it goes. I did not know this before we went live on the rundown. The Nate Dogg let me know that our fearless leader, Dave Portnoy, bet, Dave Portnoy's size figure on Scottie Scheffler. So now we have a whole new story go into this, Nate Dogg. Fill us in on all this.
Yeah, so it seems like Scottie said this morning that he will withdraw if his wife goes into labor. John Rich said that she can go into labor at any time now to 3 weeks from now. I don't know. I was born at 8 months. Is
John Rich a fucking OBGYN?
No, he is. No, he got his he's a doctor. So Scottie can go into labor at or his wife, I guess, could go into labor at any time. Bets are not void. Bets just, you don't win the bet if he withdraws. It's not like it's void, like you lose. And I don't think Dave knew when he placed his bet. He said, this is why I didn't hedge UConn, because now I can put a nuke 300K on Scottie to win the Masters. And then every reply was like, I hope you have baby insurance, because if a little baby starts coming out, Scottie's out of there. So that's fun little thing to follow. Dave notoriously already doesn't like kids. So this, as someone who enjoys paychecks, I am rooting against the baby and very hard for Scottie. But the story, just something to pay attention to.
Do you really think, though, if Scottie Scheffler, if he's up 4 strokes on Sunday morning heading into the final day and she goes into labor, you really think he'd leave?
I think she would maybe lie and be like, no, I'm not in labor.
Right.
But if it's day 2, if it's early Thursday or whatever, I think he's like, all right, I'm going to go see the birth of my child.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Do we know the wife? It's not like I would imagine if we knew, we'd have heard of it. If it's like a celebrity wife or something like that. Because there's certain wives who are like, you're going to be in that fucking delivery room no matter what. Seems like a nice lady, but not really anything that's telling me like has him by the balls here. But it's tough, man. Sunday, you're counting your money before it cashes, and then we got water breaking, and then Scotty's leaving the courts. Is she in Georgia right now? Like, does he have to fly there? Because then that could take like another fucking day's worth of time. He can leave on Saturday, up big.
Well, what I learned from Podfathers is labor's not like it is in the movies. Like, labor can take 3 days, right? It's just like I'm in labor, and then the next day I'm still in labor. It's not just like, oh, my water broke, and now a baby is like flying out of my pussy. So maybe he still does have time.
Well, that's the thing. You don't know. Baby could take 5 minutes. Baby could take 5 days, basically. So you're kind of fucked either way. So if she feels contractions, then Scotty has to make the call. If they're like, we see the head, Scotty, you have to get here now. But again, the fact he's put this out, this is like spitting in the golf god's face, I think, almost. They're like, we're going to have this baby come out of you. And I also
Dave's
think
got to like fly to his wife and like just keep her distracted, right? If a woman's distracted, she can't give birth.
That's true. That is actually a
Can't go
medical
into
fact.
labor if she's distracted.
They tell you that in the books.
I placed a future before I saw that Dave put one on. I put, just never heard of the guy on the DraftKings Sportsbook, Joaquin Neiman at plus 2,800. Put $30 to win 800 something. So
All right.
Joaquin Neiman, you were Scottie Scheffler.
So my bet on the DK Sportsbook, gamble responsibly. So UConn went back to back. So I think it's back to back season. So I like John Rahm to go back to back.
Ooh,
I like that.
I was looking at a guy named Cameron because I feel like the name Cameron's having like a little time in the sun right now. So I don't know his last name, but this is why everyone's tuning in to this Barstool Sports after all. Cameron Smith right now.
All right.
I don't think he has a pregnant wife, so that helps his cause.
What, can I ask you why the name Cameron is having a time in the sun right now?
I don't know. I just feel like I heard a couple nice things about Cameron's in my life. I don't even know where I heard.
I think one of the hot college girl players might be named Cameron on like Stanford or something. Does that sound right?
A lady Cameron? That's fine. Cameron's of all types.
Clem, you have 2 kids. They go to daycare and whatnot. Is it like how the internet portrays it, where everybody has a crazy Gen X name full of like Jackson with 2 X's and Madison with a Y and all? Is it really like that?
Yes, it's like, so there's like the normal people who have normal names. Then there's the people that obviously are just following the trends. Now, listen, I named one kid after my college, the other kid after my dad, that I also didn't realize my wife then turned into name AJ, who was her favorite Backstreet Boy. So I have one named after my college and one named after a fucking Backstreet Boy. So I'm not here to throw stones, but there are so many goddamn, and I don't want to say the name because I have some friends who named their kids those names, and if they see it, it's going to get awkward. It is so goddamn bad, man. It's like, Cameron is probably one of those names, though. I guess it's having a little run with it's having a new run now, but I think older Camerons are doing it right too. As someone that's been into a delivery room during the labor process, dude, don't go. You're gonna have the best moment of your professional life, or you go into a fucking gutter war and you're just jamming your wife's legs up. You're at the fucking mercy of her, the doctor. You're seeing things you're never gonna be able to unsee, smelling things you can never unsmell, hearing things you can never unhear. It's a fucking attack on the senses. Just enjoy Augusta, the beautiful sunshine, the fucking green grass, and potentially the best moment of your life. And then you don't have Portnoy coming for you if you cost him a bunch of money. So, I mean, Team Portnoy knows this more than anything, Tommy. Like, I feel like this baby is like pretty safe right now because Team Portnoy rarely loses.
This baby could be though, like, remember when Shea was born and Dave named her an enemy right away?
Yeah.
Like, that could be, he could have a new baby enemy.
Brooks Koepka, Baby Scheffler, and like that's just the golf enemies that we're gonna have. So this does make the Masters a little more interesting for someone like me that doesn't follow golf. So obviously hoping the best for the Scheffler family and of course the Portnoy family as well.
Yes, of course.
New families are being born here. John Calipari going to Arkansas as the new Razorbacks coach. 5-year contract worth $7 million per season. He was making $8.5 at Kentucky. Obviously, the must bus went to USC. Job opens up, and Coach Cal is there. Tommy Smokes, noted diehard college basketball guy here at Barstool. Give me your take on Coach Cal going to Arkansas.
I love Coach Calipari. He's always been one of my. I feel like he could be my uncle, like Uncle Johnny. Like I like the way he talks. He's got a very Italian vibe. I root for if I had a Rico Bosco stable of teams, which I kind of do, I guess. That Arkansas is now in my stable of teams. I'll follow Coach Calipari where he goes. I like Coach Calipari. I mean, I think he's a great coach. He's got to adjust, obviously, to like the NIL and transfer portal like era. But I mean, And now, the question is, does Kentucky just cut the fattest check of all time to Dan Hurley?
He's gonna say no. I mean, it is what it's easy to say no until they open a briefcase of like $20 million. Like, hey, here's 20 mil. I think he's going to stay at UConn. He keeps saying like his wife doesn't want to go anywhere. She doesn't want to live in Kentucky. He's, building a dynasty at UConn. It seems like he's pretty content just to continue winning championships up there.
He should stay there, especially like if UConn is establishing itself as like a true blue blood and a true elite program. Then like
they have 6 national championships since 1999.
Right. So I'm saying like if that is the case, then like you don't leave that job, right? Like you people don't leave Duke to go somewhere else, to get an upgraded job. Like UConn should be considered the top of the top, unless Kentucky's going to offer them like it's double the money. But
it's clearly Alabama football, Kentucky basketball. Like those are the two, no matter what.
Say that again.
It's the same as Alabama football. Like Kentucky basketball is Alabama football. Like that's the job, that's the program. And even if you've won back-to-back national titles, you still look at the Kentucky job like that's the job. And when the job is open, you at least have to listen. Like, I don't think he's going to take it, but you have to at least, just hear them out.
According to our boy Reegs here, this Jeff Drummond report, they offered him Dan Hurley $11 million per year, 5 to 7 year contract. And apparently, I'm guessing since he's not announced yet, he said no or whatever. I think you have to bump that up a little. Now, this is the question, though. Kentucky basketball, obviously, like, historically was huge. Was UCLA the job at one point, though, when John Wooden was there? So, like, maybe you're like, I want UConn to become the job by the time I leave. That's probably what Dan Hurley is thinking, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I don't know, whatever he's making, in the NIL age, there's always, wink, wink, backdoor deals and whatnot. I don't think Hurley's suffering at all up at UConn. No. It's just a matter of, like, do I want to, like, Saban goes to Alabama, like, do I want to be Saban and go to Kentucky? Do I want that? Like, you reach the top of the mountaintop, I feel, when you take the Kentucky job. But maybe it's just different. And some people just don't care about that. He's like, I'll just win 9,000 national championships at UConn and be exactly the same happiness, etc. Like, $5 more million a year to a lot of people doesn't matter. If you're already making $5 million, like, some people just don't care about making $10 million.
He's probably got a pretty sick mansion somewhere in Connecticut. Maybe Greenwich might be too far, but like I'm sure he's living fine in Connecticut.
Yeah, and you don't turn your back on Jack Mack. That's the number one rule is you don't want that wrath of Jack Mack.
The Jack Mack Jeff D'Lo tag team is like the tag team no one saw coming, but it is a ruthless. It's the Rock and Sock connection, basically.
I don't think though. I doubt UConn. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I doubt UConn fans would be like super pissed if Hurley left. Like the guy just gave you 2 back-to-back championships.
You're not pissed, but you're like, wow, I kind of wish he stayed. It's just
obviously, yeah.
you're not rioting, but yeah, you're not happy about it.
The fact they won those 6 titles since '99, and it was with 3 different coaches. Because who was the other coach between
Kevin Ollie?
Ollie, yeah, that's right. I mean, just an unreal fucking run by UConn, and it's kind of like they are the blue blood of the 21st century, I guess.
Did UConn tear down their campus this year? They do that when they win. Like last year, they legitimately tore down their campus. I went to UConn for a high noon watch party a couple weeks ago, and like the kids that were showing me all these videos from last year, they're like, "Look at this! This guy got hit by a car. We tore down this street light. Like there was a fire here." And I was like, "Guys, don't do that this year. Like, why are you tearing down your campus?" I didn't see any videos like that this year, so hopefully that didn't happen.
We used to do that at Maryland when we were like an elite program. It'd be like, "Oh, you beat Duke. Let's light Route 1 on fire," and like just the entire campus would be on fire, and then everybody like, why are they burning down their own campus? And it's like, oh, that's kind of a good point. When my senior year, we beat Duke, and it was like everybody was just like dancing and jumping up and down and having fun on Route 1, which is like the main road through the campus. The whole riot police, like 500 officers with shields and batons, like beating their shields like out of a dystopian movie. It was crazy, and like they were like just beating the shit out of all the students and stuff. It was one of the more bizarre nights of my life. Scott Van Pelt was just stuck on Route 1 because you couldn't like do anything. It's like, oh, that's Scott Van Pelt just standing outside of Cornerstone. Like, what the hell is going on here? I got home at like 3:30 in the morning because you couldn't do anything. It was wild.
Don't burn down your own campus when you win the national championship. Burn down the campus of the team you just beat in the national championship and make them start from. Imagine Purdue fans, they're just distraught. And then they're like, what's outside? There's a fucking orange glow. And it's UConn fans looking to finish the job and just destroy Purdue University. It is a kind of a fascinating thing. And just one last thing on this, because it's like the Kentucky job. Scott Drew, I guess, is like tweeting out. Reeves is in the like, we've all been there as sports fans, where you're like the hints about what coach or player or free agent might be coming to your team. Plans are being tracked. Tweets are being like dissected and everything else. I saw Billy Donovan maybe going there, but like if you're an NBA coach, I'd say in the past Kentucky would be a job. Be like, fuck it, let's just become a legend at Kentucky, like Nick Saban did with after he left the Dolphins. At the NIL stuff, I feel like, Chip Kelly's like, I don't even want to be a head coach anymore. I'll just be a coordinator until I can do something else. It feels like a giant pain in the ass to be a head coach.
Also, I feel like he's got a good thing going. Like he could be building a little dynasty with the Thunder.
He's in Chicago. He's the Bulls.
Yeah.
Well, then he should leave the Bulls.
We'll edit that out. We'll edit that out.
He was the Thunder coach. I'm not making that up.
No, he was. Yeah.
I said he's our college basketball guy, not our NBA guy.
Yeah, no. Look, check the dozen stats. Never miss college. Always miss NBA.
Who are the smoke squads for college basketball though? For the
Fordham, obviously.
Okay.
St. John's, just because I grew up right there, being a fan of St. John's. Dwight Hardy, the 2011 Big East. Kansas, because one time in 2008 in elementary school, we used to have this thing where every class in the school got assigned a team for the tournament. And like, if you were in sixth grade, if you were that was the oldest grade in the school, you got the 1 seeds. We got Kansas that year. They beat Memphis, so we got an extra gym class.
Hold on.
So
elementary school was K through 6 for you?
Pre-K through 6th, yeah, and then 7th through 12th was my high school.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I didn't really have a middle school. So Kansas, St. John's, Fordham, Arkansas now, whatever bracket buster team I get. Oregon State won me some Bitcoin a few years ago. And then just whoever I'm kind of feeling. I always kind of like Kentucky too.
Okay, fair enough. Moving on to the next subject in the rundown that I did not have pulled up. Here we go. Oh, staying in the hoops land, Ja Morant.
Legend.
A judge said he was acting in self-defense when he punched a teenager multiple times. A literal LOL moment when I saw that come through my phone. It's like, no, he was fine. He just punched him in the face. It was, self-defense with a teenager, a grown man who's probably like, 5 years older than the teenager. It's not like a crazy different thing. But he was acting in self-defense, not an assault. So big win for the Ja Morant camp, which they haven't had a lot of them lately. Nate Dogg, let me hear you take on Ja Morant, just slugging a teenager.
I acknowledge my tribal chief, Ja Morant, just beating the shit out of kids. Like, I just pictured this, like, teenager going home, bloody as hell. It's like, where have you been? I was at Ja Morant's house. What were you doing at Ja Morant's house playing basketball? What happened? He beat the shit out of me. Like, it doesn't, like, the story is so insane. It goes to court. And he like checked the ball too hard, and then Ja Morant's like, all right, we're throwing. I will say, better than being shot in the head by Ja Morant. So kind of a win. I think that's what the judge ultimately decided. It's like it could have been a lot worse. You went to a gun guy's house and you only got those hands. So kind of a win for the teenager.
Also, teenagers are fucking scary. They're very intimidating, especially a teenager that's cool enough to be playing basketball with Ja Morant. Like, he's probably a cocky little son of a bitch. I bet he was running his mouth, and I bet he probably deserved to get punched, and Ja was acting in self-defense.
Oh, I love a good victim blame. I will never not enjoy it was actually his fault that he got punched in the head.
Teenagers deserve it. I mean, let's be honest. We were all teenagers. We all had hormones running through us, talking our shit. You think you're the smartest, greatest person on the planet. We all probably deserve to get punched multiple times.
If you're in the NBA, you can't get so rattled by a teenager playing basketball that you have to then punch him. Like, Ja Morant's an all-star, etc.
I mean,
he's had to have dealt with a lot worse in the NBA, which is, again, it's why I like this kid. He was able to get under Ja Morant's skin, and it takes a rare ability, I think, to get someone that upset at their craft. Like, he's in Ja Morant's house playing basketball, and he annoyed him enough to get punched in the head. That's pretty badass.
They should give this a scholarship to Duke or something.
That's what I'm saying.
The next great Duke villain.
Exactly.
Yes. They always say like the support system and stuff around these players. I have to question John Morant's support system. Why is your meal ticket the one throwing the punch? It should be his friend that he's with, or I know his dad's always around. Someone else should be beating the shit out of that teenager, not John Morant. What if he broke his hand, his shooting hand, no less? Then he's out for the year, and then you have this whole thing, which I guess he already had when he kept posting on Instagram with guns and stuff. I think I will say this. I don't think teenagers are going to talk shit to John Morant anymore because A, he will be found not guilty if he punches you, and B, he like loves guns more than anything.
I love that you just questioned John Morant's support system. Like, yeah, I do think that is something to be questioned.
Well, I'm questioning it. I'm like, all right. I'm the movie Roadhouse, right? Conor McGregor is like the villain. He has goons though who beat the fucking shit out of everyone, or at least soften the guy up before he goes in. John Morant's people should be doing the same thing, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he's real. You know, he handles his own.
I guess he is real. That's our John Morant update for the day.
I'm a John Morant guy for life.
You know the whole thing, like the Tyson zone, where you never know what's going to happen next. I think John Morant is in that spot where if I see a notification on my phone about something with John Morant related, I will believe anything at this point.
I feel like it's been pretty quiet on the John Morant news front lately, though.
Yeah, he's like Vontez Burfict, like something, or Pac-Man Jones when he got arrested in 97 airports, like in 2 straight years. Like you would get the notification and be like, oh, okay, yeah, so he's still getting arrested in airports. Like Pac-Man Jones was arrested for palming chips at like a roulette table. He bet like $100 and then it landed on green or whatever, or black red, and he like palmed his chips and tried to bring it back. It's like you signed a $10 million contract last year, Pac-Man Jones, but is what it is. So anyway, what's the next topic?
It's like when Big Cat blogs. It's like, oh shit, Big Cat blog. Oh shit, new John Morant story just dropped, and you just get a little excited. It's very exciting times. This one, this was another story that I didn't even realize, and just awful job by the fucking media not pumping this up. Tommy Smokes told us last night, Celtics Bucks game. Bucks shot 2 free throws. The Boston Celtics shot 0 free throws for the first time in NBA history.
First time in NBA history, a team didn't shoot any free throws. Like I wasn't watching this game, but when I scrolled through Twitter and I saw this last night, my jaw dropped. Like I was like, how is this not the #1 news story in America? 0 free throws in an NBA game, 2 overall. Like that's great. Were these refs fucking asleep? Or they only have like 1 ref for the whole game? That's literally unheard of.
I don't know if it's a great job by the refs, an awful job. It got the game moving, like you said. So they probably just wanted to get the fuck out of there. The Giannis injury kind of overshadowed everything because that's all everyone talked about. How many NBA games have been played? Not millions, but thousands upon thousands. First time ever. Even I'd expect like a Jake Marsh ran about this or something, right? Yeah. The man loves scoregami. You figure it's something like a 0 free throw game. How it's never happened before is kind of crazy too. I figure back in the day,
let the boys play.
12,172,164 games.
There's been 12 million NBA games?
That's crazy.
That can't be right.
Please note this number includes the 3 seasons from 1946 to 1949 when the league still carried a different name.
Oh, okay. Now it makes sense. No, that's fucking nuts.
You forgot about 1946 to 1949.
Yeah, that's it. I guess I forgot about those 11 million.
The best is, everybody already clowns Doc Rivers in general. After the game, he goes, well, I thought it was a pretty physical game. It's like there's 2 free throws the whole game, Doc Rivers. And he goes, I asked for the game notes because I thought the paper was wrong. It's like Doc Rivers is the coach, and he didn't know that there was only 2 free throws.
It's crazy how bad of a coach he is now.
He's quite bad. He always has been, but quite bad.
Yeah, the Griffin is like, what is he? He's under 500 as the Bucks coach, and Griffin was like 590 or 690 winning percentage when they fired him.
Cannot believe they fired him, but whatever.
Man,
yeah,
it's incredible as a Knicks fan just seeing that team just disappear from the contending radar for a bit. Next on,
I would say our poor Knicks, man. We had it this season, and then
we're fine. Oh, we only don't have Randall. We're gonna be fine.
It's just
OG's back. M-Rob's back.
Just
look at Tommy Hoops. Let him cook.
I've been watching more Knicks this year.
We were talking.
They bring the city together. That's what I love.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We were talking about it yesterday, Clem. When the Knicks are good, the buzz in the city. The Rangers could be in first place, and it doesn't matter if the Knicks are good. The Knicks just are like they really just bring this like thing to New York City that is unexplained. Even like the Yankees being good is fine. There's something about Knicks.
Well, it's because like there's a lot of Met fans, there's a lot of Jet and Giant fans, there's a lot of Ranger Islanders, Devils fans. Like pretty much everybody in New York City is a Knicks fan. You have a few weird Nets fans here and there. Like every friend group might have one Nets fan, but for the most part, it's the only, like Boston is like a Philly are great sports cities. So they'll have one team in each sport. DC, like so they all rally around it. The Knicks are the only team that gets the full power of New York City behind them.
It just sucks. Like I'm a Wizards fan. It's just we don't do anything for 40 straight years. I would love to have a good basketball team. It's
I'm a Knicks fan.
Well, Clem, this is another thing. I'm in a group chat with Hubs and Tommy Smokes called Pinstripe Nation because
named by Nate.
Who's to say? And I just like I always text them about the Yankees prospects and how Volpe's looking out there and Nestor on the bump, and they won't reply to me. I just want to talk Yanks with the boys. And
I will say Nate texts on this often. We never respond, but every time it does make me laugh. It's called Pinstripes Only. Volpe, OMG, Soto. I can't believe I get to root for Soto again. Nice opening day W for the boys. OMG, not Garrett, take my elbow instead. Like, Nell at that cost, TBH.
they gatekeep Yankees fandom like they're the only people allowed to root for the Yankees around here. It's disappointing. I'm a Paul O'Neill guy, birth to death, and they won't give me any pinstripes myself.
The Warrior.
Nady pinstripes. It's a legit thing.
It is, dude. Juan Soto in New York City is a match made in heaven. It's so perfect. Also, very funny. He won a World Series at 21 years old with the Nats. Then has been on 2 other teams as the best player in baseball, and now he's on the Yankees, and he's still not signed to a long-term contract. Like he still could come back to the Nats, but he won't.
I would give him like 12 years, $576 million tomorrow. And just be like, let's just get this guy in pinstripes for life.
It's crazy that he's never been locked up long term. And if he doesn't stay with the Yankees, I'd be stunned. Like, well, Hal, obviously, that guy. But, I think we just have to do it. We have to lock him up.
I agree.
Hey, that's one. Yeah. The other side of the equation is Mets fans who are like, please don't be so bad this season that he won't even take Steve Cohen's offer. And I've don't really root against the Yankees like I used to because they haven't won in so long. But man, I really need this season to go to shit for the Yankees soon, because if they have this magical run, he'll probably take, if it's close, he'll probably take the Yankees offer. Because I don't think Hal will outbid Steve Cohen, but the Yankee allure will.
I don't know. Steve Cohen. All we heard about Steve Cohen, they're going to get every player. They're going to be contenders every year. They're still the same old Mets in my book.
Well, I mean, they offered Yamamoto his deal. He took the deal, went to the Dodgers. Like you can't make the guy sign the contract. You could offer more money than anyone. It's then the guy has to say yes to it and just not literally shop your offer to someone else, which is what happened with Yamamoto. So it is what it is.
Good teams sign good players. I don't know, Clem. Maybe Uncle Stevie ain't all that.
The Washington Nationals fan is checking in about the
have you lost
I'd rather go to bed with my one ring than wake up as a Mets fan.
Wow, that's a
have
great
you
throw.
lost some faith in Uncle Stevie?
No.
That's crazy.
Like last year was like, all right, this can go completely fucking sideways, which obviously it did, but we knew going in, it's like building your team around old veteran pitching was like, could go wrong. But like, I've been saying infrastructure since day one. It's like you have to build the fucking system up. You have to build the coaches. You have fucking the idiot Wilpons with all the shit they had left behind. And now we fucking go. So it's like Yamamoto would have been a nice first piece. That didn't goddamn happen. But like the fact he's still shelling out the money and doesn't give a fuck. It's like I'm fine with the way it's going to be long term. That guy is the head of our franchise, and as long as he's there, we're going to pay. He's going to put the right people in charge. That's all you can ask. And we finally got the fucking guy. We were waiting for Stearns. The goddamn Brewers held him like a hostage for like 3 years. We finally got a guy running shit. Dude, we had like 6 GMs over the last 2 years. What?
I said he's doing great so far.
See, this is why the Knicks are so good, because like there's just a civil war between New Yorkers every other fucking sports season, and then the Knicks come together, and then we're just cheering regular season wins outside the Garden like we just won the championship.
Now I will say about the Knicks, and I've been floating this theory out there the past couple of days. I was disappointed to learn. So I love that Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart have a podcast together. I think that's great camaraderie. DiVincenzo, like having a whole college team together is awesome. I learned that both Brunson and Hart are married. I don't like that. I want my Knicks superstars single, fucking in New York City, going out to like being pussy motivation's another level of motivation. And like I just feel like it'd be more fun if they were out there single, fucking everything that walks. I was disappointed to learn that they're married.
That's crazy talk. And
Okay.
New York City is like the biggest. There's a reason why. I mean, Nate can go into it. How little championships New York teams win, other than the Yankees, and I think it's because we do have like just guys who just live in that city life. I want these guys home. Nikola Jokic, married, home early at night. Who was the other guy?
Wait, what part of that could I relate to? You said
don't
Nate.
I don't know how.
That's why I don't have championships. I'm out there fucking too much. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was alluding to.
That's why you don't
Nate.
have equity.
Stop.
That was
Aw.
that wasn't nice. That wasn't nice.
Damn.
All right, we're gonna move on to a Nate blog here. We're gonna boost it back up here. The chief content officer of AMC said she would have never made the Dune popcorn bucket look like a straight up pussy. Because we would have never imagined the Dune thing, or I guess an asshole, whatever you want to say. We would have never created it knowing it would be celebrated or mocked, because the sick fucks in the world would want to fuck the bucket. Nate, I loved your take on this.
Let me read the first line of my blog. It's probably the meanest I've been in years in a blog. Hey, dum-dum, the fuckable Dune 2 popcorn bucket was the best thing to ever happen to you. For this chief content officer of AMC, who's hanging on by a thread, stock price back in the toilet. She's so dumb. She should have been like, it was my idea. I'm a genius. We got people to buy a $30 bucket of popcorn. Cost 95 cents to fill up your bucket. They sold that thing for $30. She should be taking a victory lap. She should be telling how it was her idea and how she made AMC so much money. And what does she do instead? Goes, I regret making it. If I knew that people would have made fun of it, I would have never made it. You fucking moron. It is literally, people are posting it on TikTok, fucking it. It is the best thing to ever happen to this lady in AMC theaters. And she goes, yeah, I regret it. It's maybe the dumbest thing I've ever. I compared it to when Bud Light said we want to get away from frat culture. It's like, you're Bud Light. You are frat culture. Stop. They'd shoot themselves from the inside out. I'm getting flustered.
This is great. This lady should be fired just for saying this, not for the Dune popcorn. Also, like, even the quote where she said we would have never created it knowing it would be celebrated. So you didn't want people to celebrate it either? Like, if she was like, oh, we didn't want people to be fucking it. I mean, still, you're wrong. But she's like, she basically didn't want it to be celebrated at all. Didn't want it to be.
She wanted people to talk about the artistic amazingness of a popcorn. It's a popcorn bucket.
People want to put their fucking penises in it.
I did. It's great. It's one of the best things I've ever fucked. Like, I loved it. The butter, whatever. I don't want to talk about it, but yeah, no, she should be fired. I got nothing more on that.
It's going. These things are going for $100 on eBay right now. 110 for the sealed ones, so no one else has fucked it beforehand, which is nice to see. And then the other game used ones where it could have been fucked multiple times, $80-$70. So that's what we're looking at there. Yeah, absolute firing. That should be, as the chief content officer of like any company. Occasionally you got to go viral for like being like something that people are like, I can't believe they fucked this up. Who was the guy? Remember the NBA draft guy where he like just copy and pasted the tweet? It's like, put like tweet under this line, and he put it like just straight up as his thing. That thing went 100 times more viral than every other person in the draft class who had the same advertisement that day. Sometimes you got to be a little fucking stupid. And your AMC, dude, your fucking stock, the meme is like, the shine is worn off the meme stock. You got to figure out another way to make some money here. So
yeah, when I saw that this morning, I jumped out of my chair. How do you get to that level and be so dumb? Like, finally you stumble into something that people care about. Like, finally, there's a reason to go to the theaters, to fuck the popcorn bucket. And she goes, I wish I never made the popcorn bucket. And
as an AMC A-lister, I'm considering canceling my subscription.
That's not good. You don't lose the Tommy Smokes of the world. From
I'm not saying it's related. The stock is down 5.22% today. Down 35% this month.
It's the most
down 71% the last 6 months.
That's like when Mincy, remember, that was like, that's him right there when Mincy had his little, issue, and the stock just plummeted right there. Oh, God. Last thing, rounding out here, back into the business world, Apple Vision Pros are allegedly giving users black eyes. So your $3,500 goggles, apparently if you wear them, you get black eyes, headaches, and neck pain. You can get super dark black eyes. Other people have reported pain in their skull and lower back as a result of frequent use, along with extreme headaches. Nate Dogg, give me your take on this nonsense.
I don't know. Like, it's like any new technology. You just have to adjust and get used to it. What do they say? Sitting is the new smoking. And guess what? We're gonna evolve to have really strong hunchbacks. And hey, guess what? These glasses are the future. There's no denying it. It's self. You saw Jeff Delo's. You saw Jeff Delo's self-driving car.
That was wild.
Yeah, that was great.
That's the future. These goggles are the future. People just like complaining about new things. Wah, 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 I have a headache. Well, guess what? You're probably fucking the popcorn bucket in the VR porn. You're going to get a headache. It just is what it is. We're not used to fucking while wearing headsets. We're going to get used to it.
These won't take off until they are smaller. Like, virtual world, AI, all that shit. I'm sure it's coming, but like, the Apple Vision Pros, like they gotta figure out a way to put it in your brain, Neuralink or some shit like that. People are just never gonna adjust. I mean, yeah, hundreds of thousands of years down the road, maybe we'll evolve to it. But Apple's got
hundreds of thousands. We're not making
hundreds or thousands.
How long would you give like the world till it blows up? Would you put it on the 100 side or the hundreds of thousands side?
Hundreds of thousands.
The next NBA game without free throws. That'll be the next time the world ends. 12 million NBA games.
12 million. Well, are we including 1946 to 1946?
Yes, of course, we're including 1946.
I think the self-driving car thing that is the future. Like, driving a car is the most dangerous thing we do as people, and they are. Do you remember in maybe 2004, they were like, if you have an old TV, you have to get rid of it because like you need this new TV thing. You can't use the antenna anymore. We're gonna get to maybe I think in our lifetime, but definitely in our children's lifetime, I do think it'll be like no more driving cars. Like, we're phasing out driving cars. And it's a crazy concept to think about. But they also said that when they went from like the horse and buggy to the car. They're like, no, I'm still going to use my horse and buggy. Why would I use a car? You don't see horse and buggies anymore. I do think in the next, I mean, they're already doing it with Jeff Delow in the car. So maybe the next 55 years.
Yeah, but Jeff Delow is usually like years ahead of the technology wave. They test things with Jeff Delow before they bring them to the public.
He's the one. He actually got the first dibs on the Dune bucket. People don't know that. He's a real big Dune guy. He got the Dune bucket.
Oh, is that why the hole's so small? They just modeled it after Jeff Delow?
Oh, wow, Nate, that's fucked up.
I bet Jeff Delow is a huge cock.
Agreed. That kind of hair, you have to have a big dick. It's just science.
I think I want to say our lifetime, but we're definitely all dying young. So in our children's lifetime, there will be no driving cars. It will be self-driving.
That'd be great. Look, as someone who hates driving, like I'm all for self-driving cars. Like, I think 30,000 deaths a year from automobile accidents. I've always said if I was president, I'd clean up these fucking roads. That'd be one of the first places I start.
Yeah. And the thing about Apple too, like and I love Apple. Everything I have is Apple now. My computers, my phones, whatever. It's all together. I love it. These people, if it like killed you, they would just keep wearing their goggles. So Apple's not going to like bend over backwards to fix this anytime soon.
Our lives like are going to see more change than any generation before. Like the technology is advancing so much, like exponentially, that like literally the change we see from 2000 to 2070 is going to be like more than like from year 10,000 to like fucking 1600.
People who were born in the 50s, they saw like man go to the moon, creation of the internet, all while like civil rights was going on and stuff. Like, that was from the 1950s to today.
Crazy.
Pretty big advancement.
But we're gonna I think technology will be so even crazier by the time we're that age. Well,
definitely, yeah. They do say AI might be the biggest threat to humanity of all time.
Yeah, I'm scared of AI.
AI is the silent killer. I agree. Whatever. Well, hopefully we're just going to be dead by then, and that's when they're going to start putting the cars into each other. They'll be crashing into each other, and we'll be looking.
They said by like next year or within 5 years for sure, AI will be smarter than any human.
Also, with the self-driving cars, the mainstream media, they try to make you seem like it's dangerous. Like, oh, one Tesla like hit somebody. But when you run the numbers, self-driving cars already, and it's not even like, perfect science yet, they're already like a billion times safer than driving cars. They just like to say, oh, big bad Elon Musk's self-driving car, didn't stop at a stop sign and it hit an old lady. Well, guess what? The math says that his one car that hit the lady is still safer than everybody else driving.
I will say, I think there could be a dangerous mix when it's like half the people are driving themselves, half for self-driving cars. Like, we need to almost get to a place where it's all.
That's what I'm saying. We just need to phase out drivers. But the scary thing is
the middle ground will be a little rough.
Tommy, you're forgetting your big thing. What if someone takes over the power grid and then all the self-driving cars are hacked and we're at the mercy of all the self-driving cars like bumper cars?
That's coming probably mid-October.
Mid-October? Oh, right before the election.
Right before the election.
You guys voting for?
We're gonna address that in the after show. The after show right now. No, but seriously, the after show, we got the mini golf going on out in Chicago. I don't even want to think about the election around these parts right now. God damn it.
Dante, we're gonna have to put in a straitjacket for a couple months. He's gonna try to bring down this company in every way he can. He's gonna be trying to do a blog about like Chicago pizza, and then he's gonna submit it, and then he's gonna go back in and edit it and just get all his takes off. I know that's what he's gonna do.
The Don.
Oh, George Santos has endorsed Billy football.
Wow, breaking in the political front, the political news story.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's a great point.
It's Santos's old district. So, and if he won the district, I think that's good.
I thought this all started that Billy was going to run against him, but he's just not running in that district, or he's not running at all.
George Santos was booted out of that district.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, like, George Santos was he was my congressman for years, apparently. Didn't even know it. He got booted out, and then they had a runoff election in November-ish. Tom Suozzi beat some Republican girl, and now in November, that seat is up again, where it'll be Tom Suozzi, the Democrat, against the winner of the Republican primary, which Billy is in. That's held in June.
Yeah.
So I thought Santos said he was running, but maybe it's somewhere else. Or, I mean, that guy, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he's allowed to. He was
maybe a different office or something.
He was the first person kicked out of his seat in like 200 years and 12 million basketball games. Like, pretty impressive to be kicked out of your seat. Like, it's really hard for that to happen. And they're like, all right, this guy can't just like claim he was in the Holocaust when he wasn't. We got to get him out of here.
The math on the basketball game still doesn't check out to me.
Why?
I mean, let's think about it. There's 30 teams, play 82 games, then divide that by 2 because 2 teams play in a game, right? So there's 1,230 basketball games a year. If you go back 70 years, that's 86,000 games. It's not even close to 12 million.
I typed in how many NBA games have been played.
Maybe 12 million minutes have been played in NBA games? As I said thousands, thinking this exact thing, Thomas.
86,000, that seems right-ish.
Yeah, 12 million seems insane. Ben, I need you to edit that. I need you to dub it over like a foreign film. I just need.
What can you find? What website you saw that?
Yeah, I'm looking.
This is just a poor job by them. This number should be everywhere on Twitter today, where it's like first time in X amount of games.
This is from Quora. It says, how many NBA games have there been in total? The number of NBA games played in all of history is approximately 12,172,164.
That's just not true, Quora.
Yeah, Quora.
Right? Like, we're doing the math correctly.
Yeah, 1,300 games in a season.
What the fuck? I'm going to go with that number.
Playoffs don't.
Sorry. That's it. That's the number. 12 million.
Any takes on the golf course, on the golf stuff in Chicago, the mini golf? I saw Mincy's being Mincy. Frank had a meltdown. And then, let's see. I saw a really funny.
Whitney started off like unconscious.
Yeah, Whitney started off hot. it's gonna. I feel like tomorrow, once it gets down to the nitty gritty and that prize is within reach, that's when the tempers are gonna flare. I think tomorrow is when it's really gonna hit.
So Frank finished in last place. I blame Frank for that. If you watch Frank play mini golf, he's trying to drive it off the tee like he's Tiger Woods. It's pretty bizarre. Like, I know Frank has seen other people play mini golf, and he
plays mini golf a lot.
And so, but it's incomprehensible why he is swinging like he's trying to hit it 350 down the fairway. What else was big?
It's the Fleming curse, Nate. It's the Fleming curse. That's why.
Jersey Jerry played all the holes last night and then was caddying for Big Cat today. Dave said that was cheating.
No, he didn't end up. He wasn't there to start the day to caddy for him.
But Dave still said it was cheating.
Right.
Miss Peaches is stealing the show. Oh, every single guy at Barstool Sports, if they're single, is putting Miss Peaches on their Instagram story. Great move, game, respect, game. Yeah. Nice. It's like Tommy wore Miss Peaches hoodie to a bar when he did the...
Yeah, that was for Miss Peaches. That was to support the animal shelter.
Adopt, don't shop. I think that's it. By the time this rundown airs, they'll have played...
the for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Someone was telling me recently that they know Dave as the Miss Peaches guy. Like, they didn't know Barstool. They didn't know Davey Day Trader. Let's see, what else do we have? The Barstool Fund. Pizza reviews. So Miss fucking Peaches is now on the list and moving up. It's incredible.
She's over 1 million on Instagram now.
Where would you rank Miss Peaches in terms of glitter right now, Nate, in the company?
Bro, Miss Peaches has made more money for the company in 1 month than I've made it in 11 years. I have nothing but good things to say about Miss Peaches.
She's incredible, man. She's incredible.
Miss Peaches' name should be on my check. Like, Miss Peaches should be signing it.
Maybe replace the glitter painting with just a Miss Peaches painting.
Wait, how do I? You see it? There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Could be walking Miss Peaches as she chucks the buckets in there. That's incredible. So that's the rundown. I'm going to get to the bottom of this NBA fucking games thing because it's going to piss me off until I figure it out. So.
I need them to. I don't think it's 12 million, but I don't know.
The fact that I Googled it and I couldn't find the answer, the 12 million is the only number that is easy to find. So that's a problem with Google at this point.
There's just no way it's 12 million.
There's no way. I mean, we just did the math.
What's the site that doesn't
93,480?
That makes a little more sense.
Up through 2022. That sounds right.
100,000 games.
That Muse says 132,000 regular season games in the history of the NBA.
Where did that 12 million number come from?
I mean, it is Quora. Quora, though, anybody can just respond.
Are we sure that this was the first time 0 free throws were shot? I feel like that might be a Quora stat that people are running with right now.
No, I saw that on ESPN, and ESPN does not lie.
Never lies. Yeah, they never lie there.
The first time a team didn't shoot a free throw and tied for the lowest ever with 2 total for the game.
There has, to be fair, I know they've basically been changing the rules on the NBA on the fly, where they just don't give calls anymore, starting in February into March. So, kind of checks out, but still, that's an absurd stat. Thank you, Tommy, for bringing that to the rundown, and thank you, Nate, just for being Nate, bringing yourself to the rundown. We'll see you guys.
Moment of silence for all the deceased in the Titanic.
Yep.
Happy half birthday to me. Happy half birthday to me.
Happy half birthday.
Thank you.